just want to start with the atmosphere. Like, what was that like? Do you feel like it impacted the game in any way?
I mean, we have some great fans and great supporters, and we love when they're in the stands. But I wouldn't say it impacted the game. I think sometimes you don't realize as a player or coach, you're just in a zone, okay, and you're just focused on the game. But that said, we'll be it'll be good to get our fans back in the gym.
And then also, are there any future scheduling agreements with CSU, or is this their last time here, as far as you know, for the foreseeable future?
Just TBD. I think we haven't gotten that far, and we have a great relationship with our coaching staff. So certainly you like to keep in state. I wouldn't call them rivals, but all games that we play that are in state are big games. So certainly something that'll be on the table for discussion.
And looking big picture in your time here, also like this game against CSU, they used to totally dominate the series, and now I think it's 9-7 or 9-8 over the past 17 meetings. You guys leading. What has allowed you guys to be so much more competitive against them, and have so many games like this?
Well, the big thing is whether it's CSU and it's CSU tonight, but just to compete, okay, and compete and know that you're in a tight game with a talented team. I mean, they have 5 people on the floor that can score. And it's tough to get stops against a team like that. We play great defense, okay, but just it's gone are the days where it's just we want to stay in the game. The expectation is to win.
And what can you say about Milani? I think your first 13, 14 points. And
I was just saying, I understand the game was streamed, but it's a shame people didn't see that in person. And I mean, you don't really realize just the impact until sometimes you see it on paper. I think we just kind of get in that zone of watching her play, and she gets in a zone, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch. Okay, and then after the game you look down and geez, she went 12 for 21. I mean, played 38 minutes. It's just you expect that from your seniors, but I think she's been doing that for this program for some time, and it's amazing. It's phenomenal to watch.
And then for Keeley to kind of continue this run, obviously she's been up and down for a long time. To kind of see this becoming more and more of a consistent thing, what does that provide for the team?
Milani's always going to draw 2. So, we've talked about just playing together, moving the ball. Okay, and while that was the intention tonight, I mean, and we did it, we had 17 turnovers. So they got a lot of hands on balls, and those were 17 possessions. We didn't have an opportunity. But I think as we continue to move the ball, then that puts Keeley in a better position to score. And, when you have, a Milani who's going to put some up, and, Keeley, and what we had at San Jose State was that third. Okay, and we have to get that because we're just, yes, you have 17 turnovers, but, you hit 2 more shots, and it's totally different.
And I talked to Milani about it. I assume no 2 losses are the same. Like a week ago to now, the mood feels completely different after losses. Like, is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like losing, and there are no moral victories, but if the big thing is just that we compete. And anytime we come in here after an L and we haven't competed and played hard, it's disappointing. I mean, clearly we don't like, again, losing. But when you go out there and compete like we did, they did exactly, followed the game plan. Okay, we had a great scout. Okay, it's a matter of inches, and our margin for error is minimal.
Well, obviously, not all losses are the same. Like, it seems like a better mood tonight versus a week ago. Is that a fair assessment?
Definitely is. A loss always stings, but we played hard and we had a very good defensive game. We just have a few things we need to do better at, but it definitely was, I wouldn't say a better loss, but it didn't sting as bad as last week.
And for you, I mean, to get off to such a hot start, like, kind of take me through the mindset of what it feels like when this night might be underway.
I just felt good mentally, physically. I just try and go into each game with the same mindset. So I started out hot, and then I just tried to keep that going throughout all 4 quarters.
And then, obviously this is the last time Colorado State will be here, maybe ever, certainly as part of the Mountain West. I know you're leaving too, but, like, Do you understand like the history of this rivalry? Like they used to totally dominate, and then over the last few years, Air Force leads 9-7. Like, do you hate to see something like this go away when it's kind of getting so good?
Absolutely, especially because I know that we are the better team. They were very beatable, and it's just those close games, those close losses that really just sting, especially when you know you should have had that.
Okay. And then also looking bigger picture, last couple of years, you guys have been better in the second half of the conference season than the first. Like, does that provide some motivation and kind of some solace to know that better days might be coming?
I think it does. We don't look back. We learn from what we need to learn in each game, and we use that moving forward and just play our hardest. We don't let the past game or the last game kind of tear us down, and we just play how we know we can.
And how weird was this with nobody in the gym?
It was definitely different, but it was nice hearing my teammates more and the coaches, so that really helped. But it was definitely different.